Om Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankara-Acharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. ज्ञानानंदमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। ओम श्री हयग्रीवाय नमः। ओम श्री वल्लभा समेत श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। We were into the new topic. Here you can see that brahmanah vyAvrtti-roopatvam. In fact, brahmanah vyAvrtti-roopatva-khandanam. So Brahman is not only just vyAvrtti that is taken up here. See, vyAvrtti, the word normally we use it with anuvritti and vyavritti, correct? So anuvritti means something which is there always along with something else, let us say. And then vyavritti means it is not there. So vyavritti here can be taken as abhava. So Brahman itself is shunya. It is abhava. Asadeva idamagre asit. All that sometimes there is a quotation also, correct? Chandogya. The Asat alone was there, like that some people say, but it is not correct, etc. It is said. Or even in the Brihadaranyaka, Naiva iha kinchid asit, like that it starts. But then it says that it was covered also by Mrityu. Mrityuna eva idam avritam asit. So, like this, there are some statements in the Shruti, if you take it separately from the context, it may look like there is no Brahman or anything, there is no Sadvastu. Also, there is Neti Neti is there in Brihadaranyaka. This is not, this is not, this is not. If you negate like that everything, then Brahman will become Shunya. That is another argument. So, there are some arguments like this. I think even the Vishishtadvaitins say that if you interpret it in the way Advaitins interpret, then Brahman itself will become Shunya, because they all accuse Shankara as Prachanna Bauddha. So Shankara is some kind of a closet Buddhist, okay, like that. But that's not true. In fact, we are the most Satvadins, we are, correct? We don't accept any kind of abhava, in fact, and we are interested in only establishing the Sadvastu, which is Brahman. So we are Brahmavadins, Sadvadins, not Mayavadi, really speaking, nor we are Shunyavadi. So here, you can see here, this argument is taken up. There is only one paragraph here, not much, because there is nothing, not much to say here, because the arguments are not very strong. So, excuse me, I'm having some allergy. Okay, atha kim brahmanaha vyavritti eva swarupam uta swarupantaram asti iti charyate. So, this Brahman, the swarupa of Brahman, is it just vyavritti, or is there any other swarupa that is being analyzed now? Now, those who argue in favor of vyavritti swarupa or abhava swarupa, you can say, what do they use? Athataha adeshaha neti neti iti trutehe vyavrittihi vyavrittihi eva swarupamiti kechit. So some people say this. Brahmanaha swarupam is vyavrittihi only. It's abhava, it is shunya. But then the same Shruti is also saying what? Vijnanam Anandam Brahmeti. This is also Brihadaranyaka. So, Vijnanam Anandam Brahmeti Shruter Jnanameva Swarupamiti Pare. So, others say what? There are Swarupa Lakshanas like Vijnanam Anandam, etc. So, that is pointing out to a Vastu, which is Sadvastu. Okay. Here, Tatra Kaha Pakshaha Sadhiyan. So, which one we have to establish here? Okay. Whether it is Bhava Rupa or vyAvrtti Swarupa or Vijnanam Anandam means there is a Sadvastu. So, Uttaraha Tathahi Avadhim Vina Nishedha Yogat Neti Neti iti Nishedaha Nishidhyamana Sakala Dvaita Avadhibhutam Eva Brahma Pratipadayati Natu vyAvrtti-roopam. So, what do we say here? See, any Nishedha, any negation you do has to end somewhere, correct? There has to be an avadhi, there has to be a limit to your negation. Now, if you say no, no, but in the Upanishad there is no negation, there is no limit. That's why it is repeating two times, correct? The two times if you say something, it is called vipsa. Means it then applies to all like that, correct? So this kind of two times repetition is there in many Indian languages also. So, or here it is specifically taken as before this neti neti negation, we have the murta murta brahmanam. So the neti neti negates both murta and amurta. Means whatever is tangible, whatever is intangible, or whatever with forms and also the formless. So all these things are negated. Or if you take it as vipsa, it is negating everything, you can say. The entire objective world is negated. But still, this negation has to end somewhere. Where does it end then? The avadhi, the limit of your negation. Because without that, there cannot be any negation. Because even if you say negation, two things you have to say: what you are negating, where you are negating. So the pratiyogi, anuyogi is required here. Now the pratiyogi, you say the entire jagat itself is pratiyogi. Still, where is the anuyogi? That is the avadhi, correct? That is where you have to end then. If you have negated the entire world, your negation has to end with something where this world is not there. That is Brahman. Then Nisheda Avadhi is Brahman, correct? So Nishidhyamana Sakala Dvaita Avadhi Bhutam. That's what he is saying here beautifully. So all that is negated, which is this entire Dvaita Prapancha, this entire world of duality, that is negated. But then where it is negated? In Brahman, correct? So your negation has to end up in Brahman. If you look at it in another way, the negator can never be negated, correct? The negator is the one who is negating everything. Even if you negate the entire objective world, the negator Swarupa alone is left over, and that is Brahman, correct? The subject can never be negated. You can negate the entire objective world. In fact, in this context, again, that I may have told this story, but this story is very interesting, correct? My Guruji used to, in the 80s, he used to go to US universities. He used to travel and give talks on Vedanta. So it seems one professor, maybe a philosophy professor, I think, because one of the fashionable things to say is what? Like there is no truth, or truth cannot be defined, or truth is a pathless land. All these things are there. You cannot go and study with a guru and understand truth. These are all popular misconceptions, correct? So one professor like this came to my Guruji. This was like he was supposed to give a lecture tomorrow. I think he gave a lecture first And then he came to Swamiji and said, no, no, whatever you are saying is not okay. You cannot define what is truth. Then Swamiji said, no, no, I can very well define truth. It is defined in the Sampradaya. We teach that Bhashyakara himself has defined what is truth, correct? Yadrupena yen nishchitam bhavati tanna vyabhicharati iti satyam. He has defined what is satyam. So once you have ascertained as this, that which never changes or that which can never be negated is the truth. So once you have ascertained its nature, it can never be negated as not having that nature, correct? Or that nature never changes. Means it cannot be negated. So Swamiji said that which can never be negated is the truth. Like this he told it. Okay. So then that professor thought about it and said, okay, immediately he was not able to negate that definition. That definition stood. You can't negate that definition, correct? It's a solid definition actually, the Lakshana, that which can never be negated is the truth. So nobody can say anything against that. So he went away. Okay. And then he came before the lecture next day, it seems. And so he had another doubt. So he came and said, okay, your definition is solid. I am not able to say anything against that. So truth you are defining like this, fine. But there is nothing like that. There is no truth like that which cannot be negated. This is the next argument. Okay. It is something similar here. So then Swamiji said, okay, I will address this in my talk. You come. He said, no, no, I cannot wait till that time. You have to tell me now. Is there a truth like that or not? Then Swamiji simply said, see, you can negate everything, but the negator cannot negate himself, correct? The self can never be negated. The negator Swarupa can never be negated. There has to be a negator to negate everything, but the self remains. The one who negates, the negator can never be negated. And that is Brahman, in fact. So, like this, these kinds of fashionable statements are going around and people get distracted, I think. And they are all confused. Why should I study Shastra? If the truth is inside you, why should I see outside? All these things are going on even today, correct? A lot. But anyway, here Brahman is the it's the avadhi, correct? For all whatever nishedha you are doing, the nishidhyamana sakala dvaita avadhi bhutam eva brahma pratipadayati. That's how the Shruti is revealing this Brahman. Natu vyAvrtti-roopam. So this kind of negation is also there in the Kenopanishad, correct? In fact, in Kenopanishad, it goes one by one. Yen manasana manute, yena hurmanomatam, tadeva brahmatvam vidhi, nedam ididam upasate, chakshusha na pashyati, yena chakshumshi pashyati, tadeva brahmatvam vidhi, nedam ididam upasate. Like this, whatever you think with your mind, that is not Brahman. But the one which makes the mind itself to think, that is Brahman, in fact. So it is not something which is objectified by the mind. Similarly, with reference to each and every indriya, whatever you see with your eyes and visualize and do upasana, that is not Brahman. But that which makes your eyes see, or that which sees whether the eyes are seeing or not, Chakshushaha Chakshuhu is Brahman. So this is how Upanishad is revealing, correct? So that Brahman can never be negated. It is the Avadhi, Nishedha Avadhi. And vyavrittirhi nishedha. So nishedha itself is negating, means basically you are saying it is not there, correct? So that vyavritti itself is nishedha. Nacha dvaita abhavaha brahmeti tvaya asakrit uktam abhavascha nishedaha eva nanya arthatvat iti vachyam. Okay, so now the Purva Pakshi is saying, you have seen again and again we are saying it. See, asakrit, what is that? Dvaita abhavaha brahma iti tvaya asakrit uktam. So by you, it has been said again and again, Dvaita bhava is Brahman. Okay, and the nanj is there, correct? Whether you take it in neti neti also, the nanj is there. Nanj pratyaya in the artha of nishedha or abhava is there. Therefore, how can you say that Brahman is not vyavritti roopam? Like this question is asked. So, then what do we say if you say that? You cannot really say that. Why? Mridi kalpite ghate dhvaste sati मृदेव अवशिष्यते इति घट अभावः मृदेव इति यथा उच्यते तथा ब्रह्मणि कल्पिते जगति ब्रह्म साक्षात्कारेण बाधिते सति ब्रह्मैव अवशिष्यते इति अभिप्रायेण जगद अभावः ब्रह्म इति उक्तमिति. So what are we saying here? This jagad abhava is Brahman, but that doesn't mean Brahman itself is not there. So even in the case of a pot, if you take, okay, so when the pot is destroyed, correct? So when the ghata has been destroyed, it is drasta. Okay. Then what is left means still there is something which is existing, correct? The clay is there. So ghate dhvaste sati vrideva avashishyate. Because the ghata itself is kalpita and the mrit. It's only a nama rupa. Even if the nama rupa goes, the karana mrit survives. It is there, correct? It is there in the mrid rupa, no? So mrideva avashishyate iti ghata abhava, the ghata abhava, the pradhamsa abhava, or even praga abhava. Because before you make the pot also, there is clay there. The potter is preparing the clay. You see the clay. That clay only has become the pot. Okay, so because Bhashyakara even says this in the Chandogya Bhashya, he says in the morning you are walking, it seems, and you see the potter is preparing the mud. There is only mud there, a lump of mud, clay. Then you go somewhere and you are returning the same way in the evening. Now you see there are a lot of pots are there. He has stacked so many pots, but the lump of mud is gone. It is not there. Then where did it go? It is there in the form of clay only, correct? So whether it is praga bhava, pradhamsa bhava, or anyonya bhava, atyanta bhava, everything, every abhava which has a visheshana means then there is a pratiyogi and anuyogi. The anuyogi has to be there, correct? So pot was in the form of clay before pot becomes after the destruction also it is in the form of clay. Or if you say cloth is not pot means that is also in the form of clay only. So every abhava, whatever you people talk about this, all kinds of abhava are only bhava. There is no abhava. We don't accept any abhava. Therefore, so mrideva avashishyate, we say mrid alone is there. Ghata abhava is really mrid. Similarly, what Brahmani kalpite jagati, in the Brahman only this world is appearing. The subject object duality itself is appearing in Brahman. And once you understand the reality of Brahman, then what? Brahma sakshatkarena badhite sati, then it is all negated. Correct? We accept, we negate everything. There is vyAvrtti of Jagat in Brahman. But Brahman is there, correct? Brahma avashishyate, Brahmaiva avashishyate. Brahman alone really exists because even the Sad in each and every cognition is Sadbuddhi. And Sadbuddhi's Anuvritti is there in each and every cognition. That's what beautifully Bhashyakara points out even in the Nasato vidyate bhavaha, nabhavo vidyate sataha. In the Bhashya of that, all of you should go and read that Bhashya. That is a classic Bhashya, only 3-4 paragraphs, I think. But that will give you complete clarity about Satyam and Mithya and why Sadvastu we have to accept because Sad is the only thing which is Anuvrittam. Always it is there in each and every cognition. Consciousness is can never be negated. Correct? You can cognize so many different names and forms, but all of them you have to say part is means part consciousness is. Play is, play consciousness is. Molecule is molecule consciousness is atom consciousness is, or anything else. Orange is orange consciousness is. So all these names and forms are changing. Consciousness is myself, in fact. That is why aham nirvikalpaha. This consciousness is again, it is unchanging in each and every cognition, and it is always whole. It's a partless whole. So each and every cognition resolves into me, who is nirvikalpa. That is the jnanam one should have. And when the jnanam is sahaja, then we can call it nirvikalpa samadhi, really speaking. Not the one where only you just shut down your mind and all the thoughts in mind. That is also useful as a sadhana. I'm not discounting that completely, but this is the jnanam we are talking about. This jnanam where this sad vastu is the only one which is really there. Even each and every cognition is pointing that only. So the Dvaita Abhava means Brahman alone exists. It really resolves into Brahman. The entire Dvaita resolves into Brahman. And in this, with this in mind only, correct? Iti abhiprayena jagad abhavaha brahma iti uktam. The Brahman is jagad abhava. Shruti is also pointing it out with this, to convey this only. Okay. Okay. Then what? Nacha ghata abhavaha na mriditi vachyam. So then somebody is saying, no, no, ghata abhava is not mrit. Mrit, there is a separate entity and it is no more found if you destroy it. So some people, the Nayayikas really say this. And I think Dvaitins and Vishishtadvaitins also go along with that. So for them, Ghata is a separate entity other than the Mrit. Okay. But in fact, here our Belangonda is quoting Ramanuja himself. Nacha Gata Abhava na Mrititi Vachyam. Why? Ramanuja himself has said, he say, Gita Bhashye Ramanujena eva Ghatasya Churna Bhava Apattihi eva Pradvamsa Bhava iti Uktatva. So the Pradvamsa Bhava of Ghata is Churna. It is really the whatever the powder of mud, correct, or clay. So it is Churna Bhava. So the Gata Pradvamsa Bhava gains the Churna Bhava. It is in the form of powder. This has been accepted by Ramanuja himself. And not only Ramanuja, even Vedanta Deshika accepts it. He says, Tathacha Vedanta Deshikena Vyakhyatattvacha. So in similar manner, Vedanta Deshika also has done Vyakhyana for this. So you people also have accepted that. Therefore, what is your problem in saying Dvaita Bhava is Brahma Bhava? Correct. It is only pointing to Brahma Bhava. Okay, further what? Kincha yadi vyavrittehe eva Brahma Swarupatvam tarhi tat pratiyogi dvaitasya tattvam na syat tatcha anishtam. Okay, so if you say that vyavritti Swarupam alone is Brahman, also if you say Brahman is not the world, let us say simply, but then it will become like you are giving reality to the world also, correct? By simply saying something is not this. Cloth is not pot, if you say. Okay, cloth is not pot, but pot also is equally real like cloth, correct? So only in terms of negation, if we say neti, 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 but whatever you are negating also is equally real, it becomes normally, correct? And that is not desirable to us. Because the Dvaitam also will become Tattvam then. If you negate Dvaita and say there is no Dvaita in Brahman, then Dvaita also is equally real. Brahman also is there, but in Brahman there is no Dvaita. That's all is the meaning. Like this they can argue, correct? And that is not desirable. That is why Badhayam Samanadikaranyam is there. Very important, correct? Badha Samanadikaranyam is done to show that Dvaita is Mithya. So you have to account for the creation. Just negating the creation is not enough. That is the problem. In fact, this is the problem with Sankhya also. Sankhya comes very close to Vedanta, correct? Because they also say there is an ajnana and there is a uh, there is a mixing up of whatever the Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is not really Asanga, but then Purusha by ajnana gets Sangha with Prakriti. And then if you now understand simply that Purusha is separate from Prakriti, everything is fine, hunky dory, that is moksha. So therefore you shut down your mind, etc. In fact, Sureshwaracharya takes up this as a Purva Paksha in the Naishkarmya Siddhi and negates that. Just, just showing Purusha as separate from Prakriti, that alone is not enough. That Ajnana is Sarva Karana has to be pointed out and that Ajnana has to be destroyed. Then only this whole Prakriti business is all only is Mithya, correct? Prakriti is not independently existent of Purusha. It is Purusha Adhinatvam is very important for us. Prakriti is entirely dependent for its very existence on the Purusha. And that has to be shown. That's why Sarvam Brahmeti, Sarvasyapi, Brahmaswarupatya Kravana. So this is the most important thing, correct? This is the Adhyaropa Apavada methodology. Without Adhyaropa, so deliberate superimposition, first Shruti has to do. In that what we accept that there is a creation. But then say what? Brahman is Jagat Karanam. And what kind of Jagat Karanam? Vivarta Upadana also is Brahman. Correct? Not only Nimitta Karana. All theologies accept Nimitta Karanatvam for Brahman. But what the Veda is revealing is that Brahman is Vivarta Upadana also. So by bringing in this Karana Karya Prakriya, the Karya is shown as only Nama Rupa and it is Mithya. Once the Karya becomes Mithya, Karanatvam of Brahman also is Mithya equally. The whole entire cause effect itself is Mithya only. It is all within the realm of Avidya. So once Brahman is cognized for whatever it is, then there is no avidya itself. In fact, where is avidya? In fact, there is no avidya really. So even the talk of avidya and Brahman being the cause, etc., and the cause effect itself is only within avidya only. But that has to be done. That adhyaropa has to be done. Then the apavada. The apavada is the vyAvrtti we are talking about here. Correct? Negation. And the negation, how it is done here, interestingly, sarvam khalvidam brahma itself is negation. So it is negational apposition, you can say in English, correct? That is what Badhayam Samanadhikaranyam we say. The snake is rope, we have to say. The elephant is wood, correct? This is the famous analogy our Tirumular gives in Tamil. Okay? Marattai maraitadu mamadayane, marattil maraindadu mamadayane. Correct? The great mad elephant covered the wood because it is simply a wooden sculpture. But it looks so true that you only see the elephant and you are ready to run away from there. But then with Jnanam what? That great mad elephant vanished into wood because it is only wood. The truth is only wood. Like that, this Parattai Maraitadu, Parmudal Bhutam, this entire, this all the Pancha Bhutas which makes up this entire world that covers Brahman. But what you see is only Brahman is real. When you say the Jagat is Brahman, Jagat is negated. So it is negational effect is there. That is very important for us. But the negation does not make the world into another reality, parallel reality or anything. The world is not there. World is only kalpita. It is mukhya. That is important. So that's why sarvam brahmeti sarvasyapi brahma swarupatva shravana. So the swarupa of everything is Brahman alone. Like even the Swarupa of Sarpa is Rajju alone, correct? That is established. That is very important. Otherwise, the parallel reality will become a problem. It is not Ishta for us. So that is something here he is pointing out very beautifully. Kalpitasya adhishtanam eva swarupamiti nyaya. Why? Because whatever is an appearance for it, wherever it appears, that locus, that adhisthana alone is its nature or swarupa. So kalpitasya adhishtanam eva swarupam. That is a well accepted principle by everybody, or they have to accept. So that nyaya is there. Therefore, what? This kalpita jagat, the swarupa of this jagat is nothing but Brahman. Rajju sarpasya hi rajju eva swarupam. So, like even the for the rajju sarpa, rajju alone is the swarupa. The in the for the rope snake, rope is the reality. Evam jagataha api brahma eva swarupamiti siddhe katham vyavrittehe eva brahma swarupatvam. So now what? How can this vyavritti be abhava be the swarupa of Brahman? The jagat is not there. Correct? The kalpita jagat abhava has to resolve into Brahma Vastu. That's what we are saying. Brahman alone is the Swarupa of this entire Jagat. Okay, so with this topic is over. Now we are getting into another topic. What is that? brahmanah jnAna-Ananda-roopatva-upapAdanam. So now we have to establish that Brahman Swarupa is Jnanam, Vijnanam, Anandam, Brahma. He quoted before also. No, that is being established. In fact, this Vijnanam Anandam Brahma Bhashyam itself is very beautiful in Brihadaranyaka. We have covered that in the Brihadaranyaka class. So that is a very beautiful Bhashya, is worth reading again. Not again, again and again you can read in fact. So anyway, here, Tasmat Jagad Adhyasadhishthanatvena Jagan Nishedha Avadhitvena cha Vartamanam Brahma Swarupam na vyavritti matram kintu jnanameva. So now we are saying this is our position. What is that? This Jagat Adhyasa, the appearance of this Jagat, for which the locus is Brahman. Brahman alone is there. In fact, even the Advaita is a Bahuri Samasa for us, correct? Dvaitam, Yasmin Dvaitam Nasti. Like that only we take Advaita. Advaita is not just negation of Dvaita, but where there is no Dvaita, like that only we take the Advaita. So that is important. So the Nishedha has to lead us to the adhisthana of the appearance or the mithya jagat. So jagat adhyasa adhisthanatvena jagan nishedha avadhitvena, and it is the Brahman is where all the negations resolve into. Okay, we can say avadhi means. So the Brahma Swarupam, therefore, whatever this Brahma Swarupam which is there, it cannot be abhava, it is not vyavritti matra, but it is jnana, because the knower has to be there. The negator Swarupa is Chaitanya. That can never be negated. Okay. Once we say this, what Purva Pakshi comes. He says what? Nacha Anandam api iti vachyam jnana abhinnatvat anandasya. So the Purva Pakshi says, but what about Ananda? You have two words there. Okay. So Anandam also is Brahma Dharma. Jnanam also is Dharma. This is their argument. Two words are there. If both are same, why should we even have two words? We can do with one word, correct? There will be this punarukti dosha and all that you can say. In fact, they will come now. We'll see that. So he's saying Anandam also is there. Means what? Anandam and Jnanam are all pointing to the same Vastu. This is a Lakshana. So this Ananda is not separate from Jnana. Anandam, Jnanam, all of them are words which are revealing the same one Vastu alone. Jnana abhinnatvat anandasya. Ananda is not separate from Jnana for us. Okay, once we say this, what he comes back, he says, Nacha abhede tayoho patakumbhayoho iva Paryayatvam syat na cha ishtapattihi. So he says, if you say that both are abhinna, then it will be like Ghata and Kumbha. It is Paryaya Pada. It has to be synonym. But Ananda and jnana are not synonymous words. All of us accept that, correct? They are not synonyms. So how can you say that they are abhinna? If you say they are abhinna, they will become Paryaya Pada, and that is also not desirable for you, correct? That's what he is pointing. Vijnanam-Anandam Brahmeti Shrutau Anyatara vyAvrtti-roopatva-khandanam doshacha iti na vachyam. So you cannot say. So what he is saying, if Vijnanam Anandam Brahma is there, okay, in the Shruti, and if both are Paryaya Pada, then one is useless, correct? Anyatara Vaiyarthyam means what? Why should Shruti use two synonymous words in one Vakya, Shruti Vakya? One is then useless. It's a waste. Vaiyarthyam will come to one word. And also it will be repetition. Punarukti also dosha is there. All these doshas will come if you say that jnana and ananda are abhinna. Like this, the Purva Pakshi, if he says, what do we say? Na vachyam, you cannot say that. Why? Ekarthau ekarthavaचिनोः अपि शब्दयोः प्रवृत्तिनिमित्तभेदेन पौनरुक्त्य 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 परिहारा. Okay. So the Punarukti is Paunarukya Parihara is there. So we are giving Parihara. We will take care of the Punarukti dosha. How? There is a Pravritti Nimitta Bheda is there. Because each word has to reveal something to you. Because your ignorance is so multifaceted, we have to attack the all kinds of wrong notions. So the word jnana has to point out that Brahman is not jada, correct? And Brahman is not also a prameya. Always of the nature of the knower. But still, but what about, but still I can be a conscious being that's subjected to dukkha. That is there. In fact, the only Purushartha really is the gain of Ananda. Correct? Ananda Avapti only is the real Purushartha for everybody. You can go and do a survey. Everybody is searching for Ananta Ananda, but they don't realize that. That is the tragedy. The human tragedy is what? If you question them, they are all clear. You ask, what do you want? Do you want to be happy? Which everybody says, I want to be happy. And again, further you question them, when do you want to be happy? Where do you want to be happy? Means, I want to be happy all the time. I want to be happy everywhere. Then that is really Ananta Ananda. This Ananta Ananda, how are you going to get in the Jagat? There is no way you can get it, correct? But still people are only calling for sense objects and sensory pleasures and knowing very well that it cannot last. Your indriyas are also becoming weaker every day. They are not functioning in the same way. And whatever sensory enjoyment you get also, it is not the same. First time it looks great. 100th time you are not feeling the same thing. Correct? It's useless. Then you are looking for something else. It goes on and on. Samsara. But really you want Ananta Ananda. If it has to be Ananta Ananda, it cannot be other than you. Correct? It has to be your very Surupa. That's what Shruti is revealing. In fact, this Ananta Ananda is your Surupa. So, that Ananda word also is revealing the reality. That doesn't mean it is basically removing a wrong notion about Brahman and revealing Brahman as it is. So different words have their own use in dispelling different wrong notions. That is the Pravritti Nimitta we are saying. Its usage is different, but that doesn't mean it is actually revealing some new dharma in the Brahman or anything. Okay, just because there are two words, that means Dvaita is there in Brahman also, you can't say. It is only one Vastu. That's why they are all Swarupa, we say. So, Pravritti Nimitta Bhedena, Paunaruptya, Parihara, even though the they are pointing to the same artha. Ekartha vachinoho api shabdayoho means even Neelam Ghataha, let us say, correct? Neelo Ghataha, Neelaha Ghataha. So we are only pointing to the same Vastu, correct? There is one Vastu which also has Neelatvam, Ghatatvam. At least there you can say there is a the Visheshanas, there are two Visheshanas, but even there, the Neelaha points to Neelatva Vishishta and Ghataha also points to Ghatatva Vishishta. Jati Vishishta, Guna Vishishta, but Vishishta is only one. It is the same Vishishta. Like that, here also it may be Ekartha, Vachi, means they are pointing to the same Vastu, but they are revealing different aspects of it, you can say. And what do we say? Mrityunjaya, Jayaha, Shivaha, Itivate. So even like Shiva is called Mrityunjayaha and Shiva also. Both of them have some meaning, correct? Mrityu Haratvam, Haratva, Mangalatva, Rupa, Pravritti Nimittam Vedena, he that Shabdadvayam ekasminneva vakye prayujyate. So, like using this Mrityunjayaha and Shivaha, Mrityunjayaha means Mrityu Haratvam, one who destroyed Mrityu, death or Yama himself, and Shiva means Mangala, auspiciousness. Mangalatva Swarupa is there for Shiva. So, with reference to these two, but the individual who is pointed out is the same Shiva. There is a Pravritti Nimitta Bheda is there, but they are pointing to the same entity. Ekasminneva vakya prayujit. So they are used in the same vakya. There is no punarukti. Also, he is saying yathacha vyaso narayanaha harihi iti. Like even saying that vyasaha narayanaha harihi. All these words we can use for vyasa. Correct? Vyasa means basically in the context of he took the Vedas and then he categorized them. That role is because of that he is called Vyasa, or he is Narayana himself who has appeared as Vyasa. He is also Hari. So you can use all these words. Then what? Katham atra sabhedaha iti che pradarsyate sarva avabhasakatvam jnana shabda pravritti nimittam parama premaspadatvam anandayitritvam va ananda shabda pravritti nimittam iti. So now this jnana and ananda, what is it revealing differently to us? Okay, atra bhedaha, what is the difference? Because we said pravritti nimitta bheda can be there. Now he is asking what Veda is being revealed. Means jnana means what? Sarva avabhasakatva. Correct? Every day in the temple we chant Tatra Suryo Bhati na Chandra Tarakam Nema Vidyuto Bhanti Kuto Yamagnihi Tameva Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam Tasya Bhasa Sarvamidam Vibhati. Sarva avabhasakatva. That alone is shining. Tasya Bhasa Sarvamidam Vibhati. Because of its light only, everything is lighted up. That is the jnana shabda. Jnana is pointing out to the sarva avabhasakatvam. Similarly, what? Ananda is saying what? Parama premaspadatvam means what? It is the only thing which is unconditionally loved. There cannot be anything else. Right? Everything else you love for self, for the sake of the self alone. Right? Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Maitreyi Brahmana. But Atma itself is unconditionally loved. It is not for the sake of anything else. That means that which is unconditionally loved is to be the source of happiness. There cannot be any other source of happiness. Happiness is neither a dravya nor a guna. Otherwise, you can go and buy it from the market every day. So if you negate that, that means happiness is nowhere to be found anywhere in the objective world, really. It's your own self alone. When you do not look upon yourself as a wanting being, then there is a Vishaya Sukha is there. Whichever Vishaya is invoking in you a certain mental disposition, say, let us say, when you don't look upon yourself as a wanting person, then there is some Ananda. But the word Ananda itself, what it is pointing out, it is Parama Prema Aspadatvam. You are the Aspada or the locus, or you are the source of all happiness. Okay. Therefore, that is what the Ananda Shabda is pointing out. So these two have their own pravritti nimitta bheda in this manner. Correct? Jnana Shabda pravritti nimitta is sarva avabhasakatvam. And Ananda Shabda pravritti nimitta is parama premaspadatvam. Okay. Okay. Now what? Somebody can say what? But where, what? How do you know these two are correct? Okay. Nacha apramanya shanka darshitarthe. So whatever we have said here, it is not that it does not have any pramana. Shruti itself is saying that. So that's why he is quoting the same thing. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. So all that is here is revealed only by that consciousness. It is only lighting up everything. Its light alone shines. Similarly, for Parama Prema Aspadatvam, he says, Yesha Hyevanandayati. From this Brahma Swarupam only everybody gets some Ananda. Correct? Matram Upajivanti and all that is there even in Brihadaranyaka also. So, this Raso Vaisaha Rasagahyeva Yallabhanandi Bhavati. So this is Brahman is Rasa. Brahman is Ananda Swarupa. And then Brahmanaha Anandam alone, the Abhasa that is there in all the Vishaya Ananda, Vidya Ananda, like that. Then Vidyaranya has done a great job in the Panchadashi, correct? He has analyzed this also. So all this is Brahmananda. It's a matra of that Brahmananda that alone, even in the whatever Sukha one enjoys here, we have that. Okay. Now he is again further some Purvapaksha and all is there with reference to how Brahman can be Jnana Swarupa or Ananda Swarupa. We'll see that in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.